the ball. Now Porro to Yamal, in line with the edge 18-yard box. Lamine Yamal faced up by Conrad Leimer, but he plays it back to Porro. Oh, the volley from Olmo. Oh, it's blocked, I think, by his own man. Oyarzabal got in the way of that one. A vicious volley from Dani Olmo. And Mikel Oyarzabal just in the wrong place, wrong time. But Spain do have it back now with Laporte. Midway inside the Austrian half. Plays it on the left-hand side for Baena. Faced up there by Posch. Goes in behind for Cucurella to the byline. Marc Cucurella, did he keep that one in? He didn't, but he has got a corner. Last touch there coming off Romano Schmidt. So a corner kick here for Spain. They're second of the game, but Dani Olmo unleashing an absolute howitzer of a volley there, and that's going to hurt for Mikel Oyarzabal, who inadvertently got in the way of his teammates' effort. But Spain do have a corner here now to be taken by the Atletico Madrid man Alex Baena. Right hand in the air. In it comes Baena. Oh, Laporte got a head to that one, but wide, and come off an Austrian head as well. So another corner for Spain. Everyone can stay where they are. That's coming from the same side. It was Kevin Danso who got up with him. I'm not quite sure of that one. Don't quite think the Tottenham man got a touch on that one, but corner kick it is. And indeed now it has been overturned. So there we are, one of the lesser spotted VAR decisions. The men in the box watching that one have had a word in Glenn Nyberg's ear, and indeed we'll have a goal kick instead as we get a look at some Spanish football royalty in the stands. From left to right, we've got Fernando Hierro, David Villa, Carlos Puyol, and Michel Salgado. Incredible names there. Only the middle two, though, have won a World Cup with Spain. The middle two were there in 2010, the last time Spain won a knockout game at the World Cup. Of course, Spain reigning European champions after defeating England in Berlin 2 years ago. They have had no such luck on the world stage since. More on that later, I'm sure, but for now Pedro Porro is preparing to launch a long throw in here. You can barely see him through the crowds of cameramen on the side of the pitch, but instead he will just roll it back to Kubarsi, who loops a long ball into the box there, and out comes Schläger, punches that one away. Oyarzabal puts his hands up saying, "I never touched him, referee," and he believes him. So Stefan Posch will put that one out for a throw into Spain on the left hand side in line with the edge 18-yard box. Schläger come out there, did well to get up, but not the world's greatest punch. He did enough to get it away, and then Posch got that one before Baena. So now here's a throw in taken by Marc Cucurella, who will be playing his club football at Real Madrid next season. The former Chelsea man who started out his career in the La Masia as well before moving on, and well, he is technically now the only Real Madrid player in this Spain squad. Although at the start of the tournament and the first kicking of a ball, there were no Real Madrid players in a World Cup squad for Spain for the first time ever. And there's a foul just on 10 minutes there by David Alaba on Dani Olmo. So free kick it is to Spain, around 30 yards from goal. Not completely out of the question they could have a shot here, but I should go play it quickly. And now Pedri will find Yamal on the right hand side in line with the edge 18-yard box. Tries to go past Leimer. He does go past Leimer. Did Leimer push him? No, says the referee. I wonder if VAR take a look at that one. How's Yamal gone down a bit easily? Rodri has won it back off Sabitzer anyway. Here's Spain now midway inside the Austrian half with Laporte, a former Manchester City and Al Nassr man. Now Cucurella, left corner penalty here to Baena. Right on the left flank, faced up by Posch. Gets back to Cucurella. Now Baena. Alex Baena goes to the byline, gets it across and deflected behind for another Spain corner. No word yet on whether Glenn Nyberg will seek any advice from that one. Yamal got past Leimer initially, but the Bayern Munich man really did well to stick with him, and there's a bit of contact there. I don't quite think it's enough to send Yamal sprawling to the turf as it did, and I think VAR have agreed we've had nothing more from it. So Alex Baena will take this corner kick. Two hands in the air this time. I wonder if that means any different. And now he goes back to one hand. The mixed signals coming from Baena. In it comes. Whips into the front post. That could be dangerous. Headed away well by Schläger. And Sabitzer will hook it away further, although it's picked up upon by Pedro Porro midway inside the Austrian half. Clips it on the left for Baena, who keeps it in. Good knockdown for Oyarzabal. Left corner of the penalty area. Right, Pedri to Rodri midway inside the Austrian half. That typical look of the tucked in shirt, the lesser spotted tucked in shirt that Rodri wears. Here's Kubarsi, back to his captain, the Manchester City man, the much decorated Manchester City man. And now Laporte looks for Baena, but well cut off out there by Posh. Baena didn't see him coming, and well, Posh has been unceremoniously dumped to the turf there by Mark Cucurella on the right-hand touchline, just inside his own half. So Austria will get a pressure relieving free kick here. As Mark Cucurella has a word with Glenn Nyberg, and we've got Gianni Infantino in the crowd again. He's you would nearly think at this point that he is he's got a clone. He's been everywhere, racking up the air miles. There's Posh to Seivald, back to Danso, who's immediately under pressure by Arthibal, who charges clearance down, throw into Austria, but Danso's not happy, I think, with that pass. Allowed Mikel Oyarzabal to close him down. As I mentioned, the Real Sociedad captain got a brace in the 4-0 victory in round 2 in the groups over Saudi Arabia. Posh now throws it downfield looking for Vanner, but Rodri wins a header, and Kubarsi will go back to Simon on the edge of the penalty area. Stefan Posh wearing a chin protector, much like Jed Spence for England. This will be a right back thing. England, of course, who needed some Harry Kane magic yesterday to get past the Democratic Republic of Congo in Atlanta. As there's Grigoric charging down Aymeric Laporte, attempted clearance. And it's going to be a throw in to Spain on the left, midway inside their own half. Grigoric, when he took that one in the midriff, he was bent double there for a moment, but no sympathy from the referee nor Spain. We're back underway. Unai Simon walks out beyond the edge of his penalty area and then rolls the ball out right to Kubarsi. Loose pass though from him, but Austria can't take advantage, and Kubarsi recovers and goes back to Unai Simon. Now here's Aymeric Laporte. And Rodri. Kubarsi. Porro. Ooh, and there's Oyarzabal trying to make a run there, and he ran straight into David Alaba, and I think Glenn Nyberg has indeed given a free kick there. Oyarzabal was trying to make the run beyond the Austrian captain, but was met with the shoulder there of Alaba. In fact, he was nearly head on head. That was a sore one for Mikel Oyarzabal. So free kick it is to Spain as Alaba goes and helps him to his feet, and gets a bit of a word from our referee while he's there. Glenn Nyberg, as I mentioned, refereeing his 3rd game at this tournament. He refereed 2 group stage games. Ghana's 1-0 win over Panama, and also Curacao 0, Ivory Coast 2 was his other game. He's also in charge of the Europa League semi-final 2nd leg between Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest, as well as plenty of other big European games with club and internationally. One of Europe's top officials, the Swede. As now he's going to have a decision to make here as Pedro Porro goes tumbling to the turf under a challenge from Paul Vanner, and it's going to be a free kick to Spain on the right hand side, midway inside their own half. We've played just over a quarter of an hour now. Still goalless here between Spain and Austria, as Schmidt does a good job of sneaking up there in Cucurella and winning that one back for Austria, midway inside Spain half, but immediately he's under pressure by Cucurella, so he goes back to Danso, who in turn goes back to his goalkeeper Alexander Schleger on the edge of the penalty area. He clips one out to the left for Konrad Leimer. Alaba back to Schleger, all in luminous yellow, the Austria goalkeeper. He wouldn't miss him. Alaba certainly not missing him as he gives another back pass back to the RB Salzburg goalkeeper. Schleger, now Seivald. As you see the dreaded Mexican wave going around SoFi Stadium. Posh now looks for Grigoric, but well read by Kubarsi. Volley's clear. Seivald takes it off Danny Olmo's Tozo on the halfway line for Austria. And now it's back with David Alaba. This stadium here, SoFi Stadium, less than 6 years old. It officially opened in September 2020, of course at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. So first game with first Events with spectators came a year later. It's the home of the Los Angeles Rams and Chargers of the NFL. As well, it's Austria charging forward now. Sabitzer finds Gregoric. Oh, he should have. Gregoric, that one maybe just out of his reach. He's a big target man, Mikhail Gregoric, and Sabitzer put a lovely ball into the penalty area there. Kubarsi couldn't locate the ball, or Gregoric it seemed, but I think in the end that's just some really good subtle defending there from Paul Kubarsi, just getting his body in the way, a little bit of a subtle lean into Gregoric, meaning he couldn't get off the ground or stretch to get to that one. In the end it bounces out for a goal kick, but that was close there from Sabitzer, nearly linking up with Gregoric. Now Sabitzer is tracking back as Pedro Porro goes down the right. Good ball in Porro, and it goes beyond Oyarzabal, but Baena, despite slipping, will recover on the left-hand touchline now for Spain. Back inside to Olmo. Now Cucurella chalking his boots on the left-hand side, in line with the edge 18-yard box. Goes a few yards backwards to Olmo and Rodri, and now Pedri. Pedri is Schläger and Gregoric all over him, so he goes back to Kubarsi, and Spain have the ball again in their centre circle with Laporte. Pedri. And Yamal on the right-hand side, in line with the edge 18-yard box. Goes back inside to Pedro Porro, who thinks about a shot, crosses the one into the back post instead, and over Oyarzabal. Olmo was drifting in behind, and good goalkeeper from Alexander Schläger to come out and take that one. It drifted over everybody, but had Schläger not got to that one, Dani Olmo was drifting in behind and could have kept that one in. Schläger plays a really risky short one to his namesake, no relation, Jever Schläger, and the penalty spot will roll it back to Alaba for a pass from him, picked off by Pedri. Now Yamal inside to Oyarzabal, edge of the box. Yamal goes back for it. Vanner's back there to intercept, and then Danso clears away, and that's a, I thought, yeah, it is indeed a pretty clear push from Porro on the back of Marcel Sabitzer, as he's played 19 minutes now here in Los Angeles in this FIFA World Cup round of 32 clash between Spain and Austria, which is, despite the two of them being, of course, continental rivals, you could say, they haven't played each other in a competitive game since September of 2001, a World Cup qualifier that year that Spain won 4-0. Their only other meeting since then was a friendly in 2009, but Spain won 5-1. So the draws for World Cup and European qualifiers, and even at major tournaments, has kept these two apart. Their only ever meeting at a major tournament before this was actually won by Austria back in 1978, the 2-1 win in Buenos Aires that day. Not that that holds too much weight today, but quite strange that these two haven't crossed paths more. That's a poor pass there from Danso looking for Schmidt down the left-hand side. The only thing he picked out was one of the boom mics. So throw in it is to Spain on the left-hand side, just inside their own half, as we've hit the 20-minute mark here now at SoFi Stadium. Spain 0, Austria 0. Risky one there from Cucurella as Gregoric closed down Rodri, but he just helps it on his way back to Unai Simon. Now here's Pau Kubarsi striding forward for Spain, midway inside his own half. Now find his club teammate Lamine Yamal on the right-hand side, lovely skill. Skips inside Sabitzer, and again has another go at Sabitzer, who has stuck with him. And now he gets help from Konrad Laimer. Oh, he goes past Laimer. Yamal, good sliding challenge by Sabitzer, but Yamal's going to keep that one in the corner. Or he's not, actually. Good work from Konrad Laimer. He and Sabitzer certainly have been given their jobs to do on that left flank for Austria. And even though Yamal nutmegged Laimer, there was Sabitzer coming across with a perfectly timed sliding challenge to win it back for Austria. Laimer, a very versatile player for Bayern Munich, a real key member of Vincent Kompany's title-winning squad this year. Can play on either flank, usually a full-back, but as I said, used more as a winger, or certainly a wing-back against Algeria by Ralf Rangnick, but also capable of playing in the midfield. But today he certainly has been given that task of keeping Yamal under wraps, and so far he's done it. But we've only played 22 minutes. I'm sure we'll have our hydration break here shortly, and neither keeper really tested so far. Fairly simple stop from Schläger from Yamal. Another try and change it. Oyarzabal's into the box, but just out-muscled by Danso, and the loose ball will run for the Austrian goalkeeper. It's Danso and Alaba. Bit of a chest bump there from the two of them, just to celebrate a job well done defensively. And was there a hand in there? Oyarzabal and Danso seemed to sort of lock arms there, and it hit one of the arms, I think. Neither claimed for it, and there seems to be nothing more of it. So perhaps I'm making more of that than I should. Here's Porro now back into the centre circle, right on halfway for Kubarsi. Now Rodri. There's Kubarsi now on the right hand side for Porro. Porro ahead for Yamal, who's beat the offside trap, but too much sauce on the pass on Porro, and Schleger comes out and dives to take that one. Yamal gives a thumbs up to Pedro Porro, but just, as I say, he's pacey Yamal, but he's not that fast. Yes. Posh tries to clear, it's blocked by Baena, kept in by Schmidt. In fact, it's not going to throw into Spain, but I think that is going to be our hydration break. Indeed it is. Glenn Nieberg signals to the sideline, and well, it's 21 degrees and it's approaching 12:30 in Inglewood, but it's a temperature controlled stadium here, SoFi Stadium, so the real wonderful modern arena, as I mentioned, just less than 6 years old. This stadium hosts the NFL's Los Angeles Rams and Chargers. But at the hydration break, I think Ralph Rangnick and his side are going to be the happier of the two. They have contained Spain so far. They haven't really done much going forward themselves, but I don't think they would have been expecting to do too much. But they have kept this very talented Spain side at bay, particularly Lamine Yamal, who has words there on the sideline. You see him chatting with his clubmate Ferran Torres among the subs today for Spain. And Spain, well, they did keep it. They went through the groups without conceding a goal. Worth noting that their last 7 knockout clashes against fellow European opponents, they have never scored more than a single goal. So one worth noting. Also, none of their goals in this tournament have come past the 75-minute mark. Meanwhile, and all 3 of Austria's group stage games saw at least one stoppage time goal. They beat Jordan 3-1, Marko Arnautovic scoring a stoppage time penalty to seal that one. They were then defeated 2-0 by a Lionel Messi inspired Argentina. That was a game where he broke the World Cup goal scoring record, took it off Miroslav Klose with a pair of goals, including one in stoppage time, and then of course that quite frankly mental 3-3 draw in Kansas City on Saturday night against Algeria, where it was 2-2 before Riyad Mahrez in the 92nd minute scored a goal for it. Looked like it was going to win the game for Algeria, send Austria out and put Iran through. There was Sasa Kalajic, the Wolves man, to nod home in the 97th minute, literally the last touch of the game, kicked off when the game was over, to secure one of the best third place finishes for Ralph Rangnick's men. And poor Iran were in and out more than the hokey cokey during that game, and they certainly were not shaking it all about after that game. But this is the first of 3 round of 32 commentaries we have for you today on Flash Score. Now the other 2 aren't the most overly UK friendly, but we have another all-European clash at midnight UK time between Portugal and Croatia. That one in Toronto, BMO Field. That one will have Anthony Thomas on that one for you. And then if you're really a night owl, or perhaps even early, getting up for work tomorrow maybe, we'll have Switzerland versus Algeria at 4 AM. That game also north of the border in Vancouver. Henry Deacon is on the call for you there. So this is the first of 3 round of 32 games before tomorrow we'll wrap up this first knockout round. 7 these all UK time. 7 PM we'll have Australia v Egypt with David Ferrini. 11 PM Argentina against Cape Verde with James Gordon. And then the last round of 32 clash will be late tomorrow night into Saturday morning UK time, 2:30 AM UK time, between Colombia and Ghana, with Jack Nixon on that one. So that is what's coming up here on Flash Score Official, as we're just about ready To get going again here, it'll be a throw into Spain. That's where we ended the pre-hydration break. We'll see if either Luis de la Fuente or Ralph Rangnick's words have echoed in the ears of their players as Marc Cucurella throws in to Rodri and makes a bit of an overshot there, but Rodri goes back to it. And now here's Porro on the right-hand side for Spain. Yamal again. Limer immediately sticking to him. Here comes Sabitzer to help too. Lovely ball though from Yamal to Porro at the byline. Porro, not too much on that one. Far too much, in fact. It'll go all the way for a throw-in on the far side from Pedro Porro, and Pedri's given him a bit of what he thinks of that ball. So that's certainly something Austria will have to keep an eye on, as much as they can get Limer and Sabitzer to double up on Lamine Yamal. He can set Pedro Porro loose. That was a lovely no look, almost with a flick of the outside of the boot from Yamal to get the Tottenham fullback going beyond. Porro, who for the second year in a row coming 17th place in the Premier League with Tottenham, as did Kevin Danzo, of course, at the back today for Austria. Tottenham doing some serious spending so far. More on that in a minute as Pedri finds Olmo. Oh, lovely turn from Olmo. Oh, a crucial tackle from Stefan Posch to slide that one behind for a corner. Danny Olmo with a beautiful turn. It was a drag turn there, and it looked for all the money that he was going to slot past Alexander Schleger. But Stefan Posch was alert to the danger and came in with a crunching challenge 6 yards from goal, but a perfectly timed one from the Como fullback. And now Yamal is going to take a left-footed in-swinging corner here for Spain. Yamal in right on top of the goalkeeper. It's punched away, it's back in, and it's 1-0 to Spain. Marc Cucurella, or is it? I'm not quite sure it is. Cucurella smashed it in. We've all stopped here. The linesman is flagging for something. The referee needs to take a look at something here as well. Rodri is having a word with him, but Glenn Nyberg is ushering everyone away. That corner kick from Lamine Yamal right in on top of Alexander Schleger. He managed to somehow get a punch on it. The Austrian goalkeeper, despite a gaggle of bodies around there. Punch didn't go very far. It came to Marc Cucurella, who slammed it into the unguarded net from 6 yards. And at the half-hour mark, he thinks he's given Spain the lead. But I'm not quite convinced that the officials will see it that way. The goal certainly hasn't come up on the scoreboard here, and indeed it has been ruled out. So free kick it is to Austria. Who the foul was on in there, I don't think I'll ever know. Perhaps it was on Alexander Schleger, who managed to get a fist to the ball, albeit a rather weak one, despite having 3 Spanish players plus a couple of his own right in front of him. The punch didn't go very far. It actually took a nick off Limer right into the path of Marc Cucurella, who slammed it home left-footed. But no good, and in half an hour, Spain's joy is short-lived. So can they rebound from that one? Here's Laporte now midway inside his own half. Arrows one out to Yamal on the right touchline. He just keeps it in, but Sabitzer gets to it for Porro, but that's a loose one from Porro. It's going to be a throw in as the last touch comes off Seibalt for Spain. Kubarsi now back to Unai Simon, who's standing on the penalty spot, and then he rolls it to Aymeric Laporte. And again back to the Athletic Club goalkeeper, who is keeping Premier League winner David Raya and La Liga winner Joan Garcia on the bench for Spain, has done throughout the entire tournament. Simon, a real favourite of Luis de la Fuente. Here's Cucurella now forward for Spain. A man who thought he had given his country the lead, but denied. Now Baena, left-hand corner of the penalty, overruns that one slightly, but managed to hold off the challenge of Posch. And here's Pedri, back out to Baena, left corner of the penalty area. Posch was sticking to him well too. Baena twisting, turning. He's got Vanner on his shoulder now, but he manages to get the pass off to Pedri. But good pressure from Austria forces Spain backwards. Pedri again. Kubarsi, a bit of a heavy touch, but nobody in white to come and close him down. Here's Yamal on the right-hand touchline. Faced up again by Limer, goes past him. Yamal to the byline. Limer sticks with him, still going. Yamal still going for a narrow angle. Schleger has to tip it away. I don't know if that was a shot or getting it across goal, but whatever it was, Lamine Yamal tiptoeing along the byline and forcing a save there from the goalkeeper. Now here's Oyarzabal in the box. Can he work space for a shot? No, good challenge there by Alaba. Oyarzabal again. Oyarzabal, what a save by Schleger. Got down low and tips it round the post. And Spain are really cranking up the pressure, but Alexander Schleger and Austria are keeping them at bay so far. Corner kick here for La Furia Roja. Initially, Oyarzabal forced out of it by Danso, but Olmo managed to work it back to him in tight confines there. But he did get the shot away, and the low hard one tipped around the post by Alexander Schleger. It's going to be another corner from Yamal. The last one caused chaos. Can he do it again? No, Schleger comes and takes it this time. And despite dropping it, picks it up at the second bite of the cherry. So the Austria goalkeeper having himself an afternoon. And this has certainly been a World Cup full of excellent goalkeeping displays. We saw Lionel Mpassi yesterday for the DR Congo hold England at bay for the guts of 75 minutes with some wonderful saves. Of course, Bolzinha against Spain. Spain already know what it's like to come up against a goalkeeper in inspired form. And now here's one over the top for Yamal. He's offside though. Schleger came and closed him down. He put it over, but the offside flag is up anyway against Lamine Yamal. And, well, Alexander Schleger making some big saves here for Spain. Well, the winner of this one will play the winner of the game I mentioned that's on later this evening between Portugal and Croatia in the round of 16 on Monday evening. What a big game that could be if it were to be an Iberian derby, in particular between Portugal and Spain. But Croatia will have something to say about that later, and Austria certainly having something to say about it now. Here's Xaver Schleger, gets it in there, good header away from Laporte above Vanner. It's going to drop here now for Alaba, hits one from range. He can hit them, but not that one. Well over from David Alaba, who, like I said, a free agent now after the expiry of his contract yesterday at Real Madrid. We'll have plenty of Europe's big boys sniffing around him. So he's got about 10 minutes plus stoppage time at the end of this first half. Not a whole lot of stoppages in the game outside of the hydration break so far. We'll see if that changes before the fourth official's board goes up. But Unai Simon in the meantime is just strolling outside of his box and almost goading Austria to come near him. They don't in the end, so he'll just stop the fun and roll it out to Kubarsi. He gives it back to him, and a risky one there to Laporte with Vanner coming in for that one. And now Cucurella stretches his legs up over halfway on the left for Spain. Pays it forward to Baena, has Posh there with him. Alex Baena. Baena on his right foot here. Alex Baena is going to hit one. He's thinking about it. Instead, he plays it over to the right-hand corner of the penalty area for Yamal. Yamal has Porro inside him. Oh, he nutmegs Limer, but too heavy a touch, and Alaba will cover. And, well, Konrad Limer is certainly a very capable defender, but he's having a tough afternoon against Lamine Yamal, but they're keeping him at bay so far. Shabitzer looks for Grigoric, but nodded away by Kubarsi, and now Rodri out for Cucurella, and that one nearly got away from him, but he keeps it in. Rodri again now on halfway. Baena, the only man on the pitch with a long sleeve shirt on. Now he plays it in behind there for Oyarzabal. Back for Olmo, and Limer's there on the penalty spot. They read it and tip it away downfield. And Kubarsi and Grigoric having a bit of a wrestling match there, but Glenn Nieberg says it was a 50-50. So here's Pedri now. Gets away from Schleger. Finds Cucurella on the left. Space for him. Finds Oyarzabal. 1-0 Spain. They're not going to take that one away from them. Mikel Oyarzabal with the coolest of finishes from Marc Cucurella's ball. He almost just opened up his foot and just let it hit him, and he passes it into the bottom corner here. And on 36 minutes, it's Spain 1, Austria 0. Mikel Oyarzabal with his third goal at this tournament, and Spain, their pressure has told here in Los Angeles. They couldn't be kept at bay for long. Marc Cucurella given way too much room out on the left-hand side. Stefan Posch biting inside, and Cucurella's ball back to Oyarzabal. Well, it almost looked like a training game in the end. So much room, almost on the penalty spot for the Real Sociedad man, and he just steers it low into the bottom corner. Alexander Schleger didn't have a chance to even move. Oyarzabal using the pace on the cutback from Cucurella to put it into the bottom corner. And on 36 minutes, it's Spain 1, Austria 0. And well, that one, you have to say it's been coming for Luis de la Fuente's men. Now, what do Austria have in response here? They certainly haven't been completely passive, but they had to soak up a lot of pressure there. And eventually, the pressure is told. Alaba arrows one forward, looking for Sabitzer. Sabitzer tries to take it down out of the sky, but can't. And that'll be a goal kick to Spain. And the red and yellow, as opposed to the red and white and black part of SoFi Stadium, are in celebration now. That's actually Mikel Oyarzabal's 11th goal in his last 10 caps for Spain. So he really is, for out of all this attacking talent, this Spain side, he really is a key man. Here's one of them too, Yamal. Yamal at the edge of the box, looking for a shot. It's Seibalt that's stuck with him, but Yamal turns away from him, hits one straight into the midriff of Schleger. An easy save for him that time, but Spain certainly are going through the gears here as we approach half-time. Mikel Oyarzabal, he is a quality player, as I say, a leader at Real Sociedad and a key man for Spain, but probably to the casual football fan, he maybe wouldn't be the name that jumps off the page out when you look at this Spanish team, but goodness me, what a player he has been and continues to be for Spain, who, by the way, have had an incredible unbeaten run. Their last competitive defeat inside 90 minutes was back in 2023, a 2-0 defeat to Scotland at Hampden Park. One, of course, many Scotland fans remember with glee of Rodri complaining about the rain and the length of the grass at the Hampden Park pitch, but that was the last time they lost the game. An incredible a competitive game inside 90 minutes. Now here they go again. Oyarzabal again, surrounded by 4 Austrian shirts. So that come off a hand there. Austria claiming it did, that their ball rebounded off of Alaba onto the hand of Oyarzabal. No such thing from Glenn Nieberg, but Pedri wins it back for Spain. And now back inside his own half is Laporte. French-born defender Aymeric Laporte. Here's Rodri, now to Olmo. Almost twists himself into trouble there, but gets away from Seibalt. And now here's Pedri. Spain really starting to purr here now. 5 minutes plus stoppage time left at the end of the first half. Yamal again in line with the edge 18-yard box. Slows things down to a walk, and now a stop. Yamal. Porro looks back for Yamal, but they're not quite on the same wavelength there. But Pedri tries to rescue it, but the ball would rebound off him after Leimer's challenge, and that's a throw-in to Austria on the left-hand side, roughly in line with the edge of the 18-yard box. And Konrad Leimer was getting ready to take that one, but he's with his hands on his haunches, just waiting for the ball to come back to him. He's also looking a fair bit tired, the Bayern Munich man. A quality defender, but being asked to do a lot of work today. He has done it for the most part manfully. Here's Cucurella now, the man who thought he had given Spain the lead, but the goal disallowed, but then set up the goal from Mikel Oyarzabal. It did count. And has Spain up by a 1-0 here in Los Angeles. Cucurella just staying onside, by the way, from that play. Didn't look at the time, but he is close. Oyarzabal now blocked by Danso up into the air and for another corner for Spain. Actually, Cucurella's fingers have actually technically gone offside, but as you now know, the rule is that if it's not a body part you can play the ball with, then you're still onside.
Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok.
Austria. Spain remain unchanged for this second half, and we're ready to get underway as Austria get us underway in this second half in all white, kicking towards the right hand side of the goal as we look. Spain towards the left hand side. Straight away, Spain putting Austria under pressure. Ball is cleared towards halfway and then volleyed all the way back to Unai Simon in the Spain goal. Just waits, puts his foot on the ball, side foots it out to the right hand side. There's Pedro Porro, back to Rodri. Rodri now being put under pressure. And he goes back to his goalkeeper against Spain, just knocking the ball around their own penalty area at the moment with no real urgency at the moment. Austria making those changes. As mentioned, Chukwuemeka, of course, is well known in terms of the English game, isn't he? Once of Chelsea and Aston Villa, now finding his feet at Borussia Dortmund in his first full season with the Germans. And, another change, Grilic, Braga midfielder, who came on in the half-time draw with Algeria. So Spain will have possession. There's that man Kubasi. Over to Cucurella. In fact, looks like the referee is returning something there. A free kick, so Spain will have a free kick here, just to with possession, playing like a 4-1-2-3 Spain, you could say, with Rodri as the sitter, although Pedri does come alongside him at times. And here is Rodri again out to the right hand side. Spain looking to break forward with Lamine Yamal, who's had a couple of opportunities himself, forcing Schläger into a couple of saves, one at his near post. Also put a dink over the crossbar as well. In terms of the crossbar, of course, Spain did hit the crossbar as well under thanks to Bayena's wonderful free kick. But here they come again, continuing as they left off in the first half. Pressure towards the Austria goal. Austria trying to get it clear. It's going to be kept in by Rodri on that near side. Now Porro trying to link up with Lamine Yamal on that right hand side. That's a foul, so Spain have got a free kick there. Looks like it was Konrad Laimer just going in on the challenge. Bayern full-back, who assisted in the 3-3 draw with Algeria and was booked in the defeat to Argentina. Bit of a mixed tournament for he so far. I thought the referee was going to go over and yellow card him there, but I don't think he's decided against it by the looks of it. So Spain will have a free kick though, right along that far right hand touchline. It's will be taken quickly. Here is Yamal, take control of it. Jinks inside one, Jinks inside two, gets into the penalty, it's still Lamine Yamal trying to twist and turn, and in the end I think he's fouled the Austria man. He has just did too many step overs there when he didn't need to, and Sabitzer managed to just get in front of him to win the ball, and as he did, Lamine Yamal dragged Sabitzer, the former Manchester United man, down. As Austria have given away possession, and that's not where you want to do it. Spain have got a chance. Oh, it's straight at the keeper from Oyarzábal. You'd expect better from the Spanish striker, you really would. He had too much time, I think, to think about it there. Drove towards the edge of the D, central position, hits it with his left foot side on, and it's straight into the arms, routine. Doesn't have to move, Schläger, straight down his throat, and he holds on to the ball. Oyarzábal picked a corner there like he did for the goal. I don't think there'd have been any stopping him there. In the meantime, here come Austria there. There's the diagonal by Alaba. Header forward over the top, Van Aert trying to get in there. Austria almost saw a chance, but Spain defending well. Here is Cucurella, clips it forward down the left-hand channel. Now Rodri. And in the end, Spain do well, and they get the ball back to Unai Simon. So Cucurella on and of course he'll be playing his football at Real Madrid, won't he, next season, following a 51.8 million move from Chelsea. Here he is again on the ball. Cucurella rolls it down the left-hand channel. Dani Olmo, now Boyena trying to take on his man there, but yeah, also tried to step over, but I think he's won his side a throw in. Spain will have a throw on this near left-hand side. Midway point of the Austrian half. Cucurella throws it down the left-hand channel, and Olmo looks like he's won a corner, and he has. Well, Vanna was under pressure there, the Austria attacking midfielder Paul Vanna, PSV man, and in the end he could only prod the ball behind for a corner. So an opportunity here for Spain to try and make something of this and get a second goal, which really would put the cat amongst the pigeons, wouldn't it? And almost certain place, you would think, in the last 16. But there's the corner from Boyena, there's the header, and it's over the bar from Ayathabel. Couldn't quite get over the ball, instead got under it. And could only head over the crossbar. So, you wonder what Ralf Rangnick has had to say to his side, don't you, at the break? Trailing by a goal to none, not really causing any attacking issue for Spain. They've been fairly comfortable, really. Hardly been able to, well, get out of second gear, I think it's fair to say at times, especially in that first half. In the meantime, here's Dani Olmo, spins on the ball, driving towards the edge of the D, he's gone down, he's looking at the free kick, the referee says no, waves away the appeals, and so Austria can come forward now on this left-hand side. Here is Schläger, back to Lima, oh, he's giving the ball away, and here's Lamine Yamal, driving into the box, plays into Olmo, he's gone down again, they look for a penalty, Spain. I think it was a really good tackle, to be fair, and now Austria can try and move forward, but again they've given the ball away so cheaply. Here's Boyena driving into the penalty area. He's just been snuffed out by two Austria players, but he gets it back to Cucurella on the edge of the Austria penalty area now. Spain have it on this left-hand side. Boyena again cuts in on the right foot, back to Cucurella. Cucurella back to Rodri. Now Laporte, Rodri, Laporte playing the 1-2s in the middle of the park. Play some lovely football, and that's a return pass to Cucurella. Now where's he going to go? Waiting for Boyena as the overlap. In the end it didn't quite get to him, and Danso has to chip it away, but it will be a Spain throw, level with the Austria penalty area on this left hand side. Cucurella throws it into the feet of Boyena, back to Laporte, nice little low ball down the line. Cucurella tries to turn past Posh, but he's unable to do so. And well, will VAR take a look at the penalty appeals on Dani Olmo? I'm not so sure. I think they were two good challenges, to be fair, and I have to say there wasn't many Spain players that appealed either. It looks like they've been checked and nothing untoward. Here's Rodri, 30 yards from goal, central position, strikes it right-footed, low, goes wide, but we've seen Rodri do it, haven't we? For Manchester City, when he's had it from range. It might have took a deflection actually off the Austrian man. Let's have a look. Did it take a little link off the Austria leg? I'm not so sure it did, looking at that, but well, it did, in fact it did. It will be a corner to Spain, so Boyena will go over and take it from this left hand side. It's going to be a swirler with the right foot. In it goes towards the near post, headed away. Great header by Sival, but only as far as Lamine Yamal, who spins on the ball, then he loses the ball. But Austria, well, they've been so cheap in possession, Austria. When they've had the ball, they've given it away so easily at times. Cannot seem to get a comfort footing on that ball at all. And you feel like it's only a matter of time before Spain score again. Here they come forward. That looked a foul, was it? Referee said no. Once again, waving away the appeals. Here is Vanna. Tries to find Schmidt on halfway. Cut out well. Now Spain will come forward again. Into the feet of Boyena again. Back to Cucurella. Tries to drive forward. And in fact, the referee has spotted something here. Not sure if it was Posh that went through a little late on Alex Baena. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, he did. He clipped him with his right foot, did Posh. Down he went. Stefan Posh just having a talking to. He was booked in the defeat to Argentina. And, he's picked up 4 yellow cards in his 16 games for Mainz. His loan spell there last season. And they certainly can't afford to get another booking, although yellow cards are wiped clean. It's a clean slate going into these knockout stages, so if any player was booked in the group stages, then it doesn't matter. Here is Laporte now for Spain. He's playing 10 minutes here in the second half. You're listening to, of course, commentary here. A very good afternoon. Once I say good morning, good evening, wherever you are. It's independent studio based off Tube commentary, so thank you for listening to us. Make sure you're watching the game through your local broadcaster, or you can follow the match, of course, on your local, regional, national TV broadcaster. It is Spain 1, Austria 0. That goal from Oyarzabal is the goal that separates the two sides at the moment, and it looks like it could be more. Here's Porro into the penalty, a low ball into the box. And Austria again under pressure, but they clear it away. Spain are absolutely relentless at the moment when they attack, but they've only got 1 goal to show for it. Here is Sabitzer, rolls it down the left-hand channel. Lima now is going in his bit of space. Left-footed ball into the box, but comfortable for Simon. And that really has been the story of this game so far. Austria, whenever they've had the ball in the final third, they just haven't been able to do enough. 0.03 on the XG calendar, where Spain have got 1.27. That tells you everything you need to know. Here is Lamine Yamal into Rodri, back to Laporte. Cucurella is at walking pace at the moment, waiting for it. Instead he opts for Baena on this left hand side. Back into the feet of Pedri. Now Baena, Pedri, Baena, Spain knocking the ball now nicely. Baena goes for the strike, right footed, but it's blocked well. And again, Spain, they are so quick at winning that ball back. And they've done so again. Here they come. Cucurella on the left hand side. Rolls it in field. Pedri, walking pace at the moment. Looking for support from Laporte. Where's he going to go? Pedri, is he going to get it back? Is he going to wait for it? He's certainly showing for it. He was booked in the 0-0 draw with Cape Verde, was Pedri, but he did score in the 3-1 friendly with Peru. In the meantime, here's Yamal on the right hand side. He goes for the strike with his left foot. And it cannons off the Austria defender, back off Lamine Yamal's left boot, and out for a goal kick. So a little bit of fortune there, I think it's fair to say, from an Austria point of view. Lima it was, struck his left boot, came off Yamal, and back out for a goal kick. And so it's going to be Schlegel to take it. Over to Danso now for Austria. Hits it first time long over the halfway line, looking for Gregoric, but he's not strong enough to muscle off Rodri. The ball will go all the way back to Simon, who clears it forward over the halfway line. Danso meets it again, heads it forward. Now Spain will get it back to the goalkeeper. And Simon will pick it up. In fact, the referee, looks like there's a flag up, is there? Certainly appears that way, and in fact it's not a flag up, it's an Austria substitution. So the flag is up, but it's up for a sub. So Austria are going to be making their 3rd change of the afternoon here in LA, and it's going to be Schmidt that goes off and Arnautovic who comes on. There was a little bit of surprise that Arnautovic didn't start this game. Once of Stoke City, of course, because he did score in the 3-3 draw with Algeria. Now playing his football with Red Star, 37 years of age now. Arnautovic feels like he's been around forever. Well, he has. The experience he brings in that final third for Austria. How they would love him to conjure a similar situation in Austria's last group game. And here he is on the ball. Finds Sabitzer now on that left-hand side. Right footed cross. In it goes. Oh, and the header just over the bar. What a chance for Austria there. It was Gregoritsch who got on the end of it. Let's have a look. The cross came swinging in, and there he is on the edge of the 6-yard box. Gets there, but he can only head over the crossbar. What a chance there. In fact, it was a real opportunity, and he couldn't quite firm his header where he wanted it. And over the crossbar it went. And so Spain now will pick up. It was Kalajdzic actually who got the header in. The Wolverhampton Wanderers front man, but in the meantime here's Lamine Yamal coming forward into the penalty area now. Dalian rolls it back to Olmo. The shot is blocked. That's good defending by Austria there. Just about got enough bodies in the way, otherwise that could have gone absolutely anywhere. It really could, but they've got away with it. So Austria making 2 changes then. Arnautovic for Gregoritsch now, Kalajdzic for Schmidt. They mean business to try and get back into this, and at 1-0, let's be honest, they certainly could. Doesn't matter how many chances Spain may have had, how they've dominated the football for pretty much the whole 61 minutes of this game so far. You've got to put your chances away. And Spain, although they've done it once, they are certainly not in a comfortable position in terms of the scoreline yet. And Austria certainly gave them a warning sign there, with Kalajdzic heading over the bar. So Austria trying to pick up the pieces in the middle of the park. 4 changes Austria have made now. They've only got 1 to go. There's the ball over the top. Arnautovic. Simon comes out of his goal, and he gets there just in time. And Arnautovic is holding his head there. Has he got a bit of a clash there? Did Simon kick him in the head? Something's happened there. It all happened so quickly, fair to say. I'm sure we'll have another look at that on the old TV monitors in front of us here. Let's have a look. Simon, he actually catches him with his elbow. So Arnautovic is in a foot race, tries to beat Simon to the ball. As the ball is in the air, Simon heads it away, and as he heads it away, he just catches Arnautovic in the back of the head. So Arnautovic just receiving a little bit of treatment. And while that happens, it looks like we could be having the second hydration break, aren't we? So it appears. In the meantime, not sure if the referee's taking action here against one of the Austria players. Well, there's a booking going to be in the offing. He's certainly shouting one of the Austria players here. Let's just have a look at this chance then for Austria. Sabitzer from the left-hand side crossed it beautifully, right foot, and then Kalajdzic gets up on the 6-yard area. It's a big man, Kalajdzic, of course, the target man, but he can only head the ball over the bar. He gets over it. That's what he does. He gets over the ball. And well, what a chance there. Over the bar it goes. And he knows how close it was. The man who scored the stoppage time equaliser to save Austria's blushes from going out of the competition, it's fair to say. And of course, very, very close. And although he was on loan to last season, he is still a striker for Wolverhampton Wanderers. As the ball is punted back over the Spain defence, looking for Kalajdzic to get on the end of it, but he's not going to do so there. And the easy pickings for Spain. Do what they need to do and try and roll the ball forward, and they do. Here's Lamine Yamal, he's onto it, he's into the penalty area, could be a chance here, cuts back, he's waiting for support. Yamal, now he's doing the jinking skill inside the area, and he's cut out well, and Austria just about get it away, but Spain yet to make a change in this game as well. 64 minutes now on the clock. Still 1-0 to Spain though. Here is Cucurella out to this left hand side. Baena trying to take on his man, cuts in on the right foot. Is he going to go back? Goes sideways to Olmo. Spain have it 10 yards outside the Austria penalty area in a central position. They roll it out to the right hand side. Porro, Yamal, Porro, still back to Porro again. Side-footed passes being rolled around the Austria defence at the moment. Cucurella into the feet of Olmo, out to the left-hand side to Baena. Where's he going to go? Lovely ball into Olmo. Chance for shot here. The shot is blocked. Now Cucurella. Can he get a shot in? Gets it out to the left-hand side. Baena to the byline. Pulls it back. And it comes in there. And that's goal number 2. And it's Pedro Porro who gets on the end of it. Well, he was one of the changes for Spain coming into this one, replacing Llorente, and he's replaced him with a goal. And what a moment for Pedro Porro. It was beautiful football from Spain, the way they moved the ball around at will. And Pedro Porro gets his first ever goal in a Spain shirt. What a way and what a moment for him, and a moment for Spain, it's fair to say, because although they weren't under the cosh at 1-0, they had to be very careful. Cucurella it was that got it out, sliding tackle out to Baena. He got to the byline, pulled the ball back, and there was the oncoming Porro who ran on the edge of the 6-yard box and heads the ball past the Austria goalkeeper. It really is a fine finish there. Lovely click cross with his left foot from Baena. He made it. Porro scored it. Spain 2, Austria 0. And seen it again. It's a lovely connected goal. And Pedro Porro won't forget that one in a hurry, will he? Something to tell the grandkids about, that's for sure. You can't take that away from him. And Spain, you feel now, are in a bit of a comfortable setting, although you could have said that yesterday, couldn't you, with Senegal 2-0 up against Belgium. And yet Belgium came back, and eventually, although it was the last 5 minutes, wasn't it, when they got those 2 goals and then eventually winning it in extra time. You cannot see Austria doing that, but you never know. This World Cup, as Spain have the ball in possession, and in fact I think there's going to be a hydration break here, and well, the referee has just put his hand in the pocket there, and it will be a hydration break. 67 minutes gone here. Spain 2, Austria 0. If you have just tuned in, then you are listening to off-tube commentary. And make sure you're watching the game through your local broadcaster, or you can of course follow the match on your local, regional, national TV broadcaster. And this tournament certainly showing up so far with some real surprise packages, although there doesn't appear to be that here today. Spain comfortably in a position now, leading by 2-0 thanks to Oyathabel's first half strike, and then just a few moments ago Pedro Porro's header. And those are the 2 goals that see Spain ahead, and Austria's best opportunity really did come not so long ago when substitute Lozovic's header went over the bar, and that, you feel, might have been the chance to get Austria back into the game. But it is Spain that have gone up the other end and got that second crucial goal. You've just seen it again. It was a lovely, delightful cross from Baena, just the way he shifted the ball with his left foot. Beautiful chip on the edge of the 6-yard area, and there is Porro to just plant his header past the keeper into the centre of the net. And you can see what it means for the Spain supporters. Relief all around, you'd have to say, really. They needed that second goal, and now they've got it. for Austria. Well, Ralf Rangnick can certainly be pleased with defensive parts, because Austria have certainly been pretty decent up until that second goal. Spain have had chances, of course, but you would expect that, wouldn't you? Spain on charge, but in the meantime, it looks like they are now going to be making a change here. So Luis de la Fuente will make a change, and Mikel Merino is going to be one of those changes by the looks of it, as he will enter the field. And we've got 20 minutes to go here of this round 32 stage of this tournament. Spain lead by 2 goals to 0. And, just seeing whether Austria were considering making their 5th and final change. It looks like they won't be doing that. So it will just be left to Spain to do exactly that. And here they come, rolling forward again, looking for maybe a third one. And well, it's going to be Baena and Olmo who come off the field, and Ferran Torres and Mikel Merino are on. So Spain making 2 of their 5 changes. Let's see what that can do. Well, let's be fair, if you're an Austria counterpart and you see those players coming on, doesn't really fill you with much confidence, does it? Mikel Merino, he actually turned 30 earlier this month. He was lucky to go on the plane after a long-term injury, but he made it, and he's now off the bench to try and show what he can do in the latter stages. As for Ferran Torres, well, he actually got 16 goals in La Liga last season for Barcelona. It's his highest ever club total. In the meantime, it could get worse. Here's a chance, and here is Ferran Torres into the penalty area down the left-hand side. He tried to poke the ball across, but it was good defending there. Austria doing the business. Well, Ferran Torres has took Baena's place on that left-hand side, and showing exactly what he can do already. A bit of a menace. There he was down the left-hand side, but his cross was cut out. And so Austria were able to defend it. And otherwise it could have caused a real problem there. There's Spain in a battle there on the touchline. Austria do well and get it clear, and then back to the goalkeeper it goes. Sagan takes a touch. What will he do? Will he boot this forward, or will he go for the short one? Looks like he's going to go for the short one. Across the lines to Alaba now. Out to the left hand side to Ligue. Austria will try and attack now. Right footed outside with the right foot over the Spain defence though, and comfortably gathered there by Unai Simon in the Spain goal. Here is Rodri, takes a heavy touch there and doesn't get away with it, and Austria will come forward. Oh, he has just about. The referee's blown up. Arnautovic just nipped him there. Thought he got away as Rodri. I'm not so sure he did. Actually, looking at that, I think he gets a bit on the ball there, Arnautovic, but there you go. The referee siding with the midfielder. So Spain will have a free kick in their own half. I'm sure they'll be we're going to see how many goals they can go and score really now, isn't it? Here's Pedri out to that right hand side to Porro, who must be full of confidence after scoring his first ever international goal for Spain in a tournament such as this as well. What a moment for him. Austria will have the ball now. Here's Alaba, hits it left footed towards halfway. Spin on the ball there, doesn't quite come to it. Cucurella wins it back for Spain. Rodri, and then in the end there's a foul on halfway. And so the Austria substitute Chuck will make it. So will be a free kick to Austria, as we've got 15 minutes to go here. in this round 32 fixture. It looks like Spain's unbeaten run, which now stands at 34 matches in all competitions. Looks like it might well be going to 35. So it certainly feels that way. Anyway, Austria, I'm sure, will be hoping that they can do exactly what Belgium did in the latter stages in their last 32 fixture against Senegal yesterday. So UEFA Bell's just getting a talking to there by the referee, waiting to see what would happen. In the meantime, Austria have a free kick. There's the ball lifted into the box. It's a good header away. Good defending by Spain. They had to get that right. Here's Porro. Rodri back to Porro again. He couldn't quite side foot it down the line, so Austria will have possession on this far left hand side. Chance for Lima to throw it into the Spain penalty area here, which he does. Kalajdzic flicks it on, and Arnautovic has gone down. There's half appeal for a penalty there, but it's not going to be. Arnautovic, has he won a corner? Let's have a look. I think that's all he's got, or did it come off? Yeah, well, it was Kabasi. I don't think he touched him there. Nothing in that at all. Arnautovic and Kabasi, they're clash, but Kabasi just does a job on him and shepherds the ball out for a goal kick there. Nothing wrong with that. Of course, VAR will check it, but can't see that changing whatsoever. In the meantime, here comes Spain, driving forward over the halfway line, and here's the man they want the ball on now. Here is Ferran Torres into the penalty area, low ball into the box, cleared away at the near post there, but it's still not away by Austria. They're making a right mockery of it, and in the end, they put it behind for a corner. Well, they were under so much pressure from Spain, to be fair. The ball went out to Danso. He's on the byline. He can't keep it in to clear it away, and as he does, it goes behind for a corner. So Spain will have a corner from this left-hand side. And as mentioned, they have been relentless in their press. And on another day, they could have had more than 2 goals, it's fair to say. They've had the chances. Austria have tried to do what they could to deny them, but when Spain are in the mood, they are in the mood. It's difficult to stop them. Here's Yamal with a corner from the left-hand side. High one. Lures the back post. Header comes in there. It's over the bar. And yet, Ferran Torres, I think it was, that got in on the back post. And he floats his header over the bar. It was on the edge of the 6-yard area there on the far stick. He got his header over the crossbar with Ferran Torres. In the meantime, Spain trying to pick up the ball in the centre circle. Austria do well. Here is Danso. Out to that right-hand side. He's under pressure there. He's Posh. Gets it back to his goalkeeper Slager. Again, Spain with the intense press. Now Austria will pick up the pieces. Back to Danso it'll go, takes a little touch, then he picks out Alaba. Alaba's going to stroke it with his left foot, is he? Looking to float it forward. No, he goes for a nice little pass inside to Lima. And they're on the attack here, Austria. Down the left-hand side, it could all change if they could get a goal here. Low ball into the box, hooked away by Pedro Porro though. And in the end, Austria trying to pick up the pieces again, and they get it. The ball has run loose, but they've picked it up here. Could be a chance for Vanna, gets it out to the right hand side. It's good football by Austria here. Trying to find a way through. There's the 1-2. Lovely play here. Could be a chance right for the strike. Oh, just wide. Off the near post by Chukwuemeka. Well, lovely play from him there on the edge of the D. Played a 1-2 with Kalajdzic. Kalajdzic returned it back to him. He's on the right side of the area. Hits it first time with his right foot. He just cannot quite swing it round to the far stick, and it goes wide of the right hand side of the near post. But better from Austria, much better in terms of attacking intent. Here is Simon, clips the ball over to that far right hand side. Porro heads it into the midfield, into the centre circle. Spain bring the ball down. Lovely spin and turn there from Pedri, gets away from one, and he picks out Ferran Torres on the left hand side. 1v1 now against his man. Opts for the short pass into Pedri, puts his foot on the ball, rolls it back to Rodri. Rodri then goes back to Laporte. Now Rodri coming forward for Spain. 11 minutes remain. Spain 2, Austria 0 in this round 32 fixture. Still Spain have it. Rodri again. Cucurella. Short ball back. Laporte. Now into the feet of Rodri. Wants to spin on the ball, but he gets it back to Laporte. Then he plays it inside. Spain trying to get away from the challenge. He does well there, Pedri. Now the ball is out to the left-hand side. He's Cucurella, but it's space for him now to run onto this. Low ball into the box. Oh, this is lovely football from Spain. And in the end, the strike couldn't quite come to fruition. It was Ferran Torres who rolled his way into the centre of the penalty area there. Cucurella with a beautiful ball with his left foot, just side-footed it into the box, and Ferran Torres tried to return it to either Cucurella or Pedri, who was going to run onto the ball. And had they done so, what a move that would have been, and a chance for a third goal there. Here is Alaba for Austria. Out to the left-hand side to Lima now, looking to take on his man, does well. Pokes it off Porro, will be a throw into Austria. There's still time for them to get back into this one. And now Austria will have it again. Midway point. Ball is in the feet of Vanna. PSV man picks it out to the left hand side. Lima with a cross, left footed, decent ball, header comes in there. Oh my word, just wide from Posh. Where did he come from? Stefan Posh came from nowhere there and floated the header inches wide, or was it a bit further? Maybe it was a bit further wide than we thought actually. But he just came in on the blind side there on the far stick, beat Cucurella, all ends up, and heads it wide of the near post. But Arnautovic just geeing up his teammates there. In the meantime, Spain will come forward. Here's Lamine Yamal, plays it inside. Lovely spin and turn, comes out to Ferran Torres. Tries to turn away from Danso, it hits Danso on the foot. And then it hits Torres again, and it goes behind for a goal kick. But Austria there, what an opportunity that was. Even though it was a little bit further wide than first thought, still a great chance there. Well, the ball was whipped in. And certainly big Cucurella ends up just couldn't quite guide the header where he wanted it. Here's Kalojdzic again, heads it down. He's such a big man, isn't he? Is Kalojdzic. It's exactly the kind of play you want when you're hitting long balls towards, that's for sure. And he showed his prowess then. In the meantime, the referee, he's going to show the first yellow card of the game. And it's going to go to Stefan Posch, the man who came very close to getting Austria back in it just a few moments ago. Just tugged Cucurella in the back as he tried to marong forward down the left-hand channel. And so it will be a free kick. And a chance for them to try and make of it what they can, really. As Rodri is over the ball, plays the short pass into Ethabas. A great return pass over to Lamine Yamal there. Takes control of it. Porro again. Spain returning the ball all the way back to Laporte this time. They might go again. Certainly looking to do so if they can. Here is Pedri. Plays it in field. Pedri does well. Under pressure. Back out to Cucurella again for Spain. They have it on this left-hand touchline. Still return pass. That's a lovely piece, a bit of play there. Here's Marino. In the end, doesn't come to nothing. And Spain will start again. There's the ball out to the left-hand side. Pedri's on the left-hand side at the moment. There's a little ball into Ferran Torres. It's Ferran Torres. Oh, that's a great ball down the line. Plenty of space here. A chance here for the third. The ball is put into the box. Is it going to fall? Oh, it's off the line from Kevin Danso. Just got in the way there and managed to get his right foot to poke it off the line. And they're having words, Austria there. Danso and Grilic having real words with one another there. Not happy at all with how that chance came about. Well, I have to say, Spain had the freedom of their own country there. Fair to say. It was Oyarzábal who drove down the left-hand side into the penalty area, pulled the ball back, and then Yamal's shot was cleared off the line by Danso, and that will be the last piece of action for Lamine Yamal. He will go off the field, and we're just seeing who he's going to be replaced by. We'll let you know in a moment or so, as soon as the board comes up. Now it does. It's going to be Gavi who comes on. So Gavi is on, and off is Lamine Yamal. No goal for him today, but he certainly played his part. Well, Gavi played 71 minutes of the disappointing goalless draw with Cape Verde. He's actually not figured since then. It was his first opportunity or appearance since then. But seeing that opportunity, Lamine Yamal just twisted and volleyed it with his left foot low. Ball's going into the corner, but Kevin Danso, give credit to him, he was there and smashed it off the line. As here comes Spain attacking down the left-hand side. Oyarzábal's going to try and press the Austrian defence there. They just about get it in time back to the goalkeeper. And the ball is cleared away. Time is ticking down now for there. Looks like it could be the end for Austria in this tournament. They've shown bravery, they've shown hard work, but in terms of stopping Spain's quality, they have been unable to do that. And here comes Spain now on the right hand side. Low ball into the box, it's going to come here, chance here, oh, Gavi comes in! And that's a fine tackle by Lima. He had to get there, and he did. Ball was pulled back from the right hand side towards the penalty spot, and it looked like all the world that Gavi was going to get on the end of it, but at the other end Austria have it. Here's Kalajdzic now on the right hand side, crosses the ball in. He shouldn't really be there, should he? He should be in the box, but he got the ball on the byline, crossed it with his right foot. Nobody in there, as you would expect, because he should be the man there. But Austria will try again on the left hand side. Here is Konrad Lima. Leaves it for Sabitzer. Tries the cross. Porro's done brilliantly there and blocked it. Well, he's had a terrific game, Pedro Porro. He really has. And if there was to be a player of the match, he would certainly be contender. He's been a presence down that right-hand side, and he took his goal beautifully with that header as well. Here is Gavi. Holds the ball up on halfway. Back to Rodri. Spain just slowing the tempo down now. The job is done. They will be going through to the last 16, providing it stays like this. And of course it will be a meeting with whoever wins the battle of Croatia and Portugal at Dallas Stadium. That's where it will be. Spain would have booked their place, but it's not over yet. Still 2 minutes to go. Goal from Austria, and it could change everything. But here's Cucurella, he's got plenty of space. Low ball in, and real chance for Oyarzábal, and that's 3! And that is game, set and match. And Spain are heading into the last 16. And Oyarzábal gets his second of the game. Well, Cucurella had all the time in the world there down the left-hand side. Played a sublime left-footed low pass into the penalty area, and there is waiting Oyarzábal on the end of it to once again do what he does, Mikel Oyarzábal, and slot it past the Austria keeper and into the back of the net. There's shades of whether offside's the first time strike as well, just like he did in the first half. One with his left, this one with his right. Spain 3, Austria 0. And he was on the penalty spot, and all he did was wait for the keeper to commit himself, and with his right foot stroked it into the far right corner. Simple as that. And Austria are heading home, or so it seems now. And Kevin Danso takes a look at the sky. It was always going to be a tough ask, wasn't it, for Austria? They knew that coming into it, and they would have been buoyed by spirited displays, such as teams who, of course, have done well in this competition. But for Austria, it looks like the journey end for them. And for Spain, it all continues. They had a stutter against Cape Verde. They feel like they're putting it all out of the way now. Dusting off the cobwebs, you might say, as Spain will have possession again now, deep inside their own half. 6 minutes of stoppage time to play, and they will just ease their way through, you would think now. Nothing silly, nothing strenuous. They don't need to, do they? Keep the ball possession wise. Austria have to go for it, and well, they may even get another one if gaps open up. Depends how Austria want to play. Will they just throw everybody caution to the wind? They've got nothing to lose now. Here is possession on the left hand side, as Austria trying to move forward. Grilic now plays the 1-2. Still trying to get it. Grilic out to the left hand side. Give a chance for Pras, who's just come on now. So picks up with the Austria have made a final substitution. Pras is on for Posh. Alexander Pras, the Hoffenheim man, who was an unused substitute in the 3-3 draw with Algeria. And here he is on the left wing, gets the cross in, looking for Kalajdzic again, but he's not going to get there, and it's clasped out the air very comfortably by Unai Simon. He'll take those all day. Of course, let's not forget another Spain clean sheet, yet to concede a goal in this tournament. They are just quietly going by, doing their business, doing what is required. And although of course they were up there as favourites to win this competition, are certainly showing the kind of form that we are accustomed to. In the meantime, Spain are going to be making a change. Laporte, who's not really had a busy afternoon. The Spain defence has rarely been troubled, but Laporte is off the field. So on in his place is Marc Pubel. So he is on for the last few minutes or so. And the Athletic Madrid defender, he only made his debut in the 2 friendlies leading up, so it's his first ever tournament for Marc Pubel. What a lovely moment for him. And Spain lead by 3 goals to 0. You're listening to independent studio based off tube commentary of this fixture. Make sure you're watching the game, of course, through your local broadcaster, or you can follow the match on your local regional national TV broadcaster. And I hope it's been an enjoyable one in terms of goals and in terms of displays from a Spain point of view. Here is Kevin Dancer with a long ball over the top, looking for Kalajdzic. Will he get to it? No, he won't. Pubel gets to it first, so first touch for him since coming on, and he headed it forward and got it away well. Now Gavi to Cucurella. Spain have it on this left hand side, trying to motor their way forward, unable to do so though. In fact, it will be a free kick to Spain, and a chance for them to move the ball forward, which they do, just on the edge of the D. Here is Kubasi. Out to that far right hand side, the ball is through, and there could be a chance here. Ferran Torres with the low shot with his right foot. It was always against him, the angle though, and fair to say he sliced it really low and well wide of that far left hand post. Back on Ferran Torres, maybe getting a crisp effort for the goals tally he's produced for Barcelona this season. 16 in La Liga, and a few in the Champions League as well. His last goal came in the 1-1 draw with Iraq just prior to this tournament. Spain under pressure again, but they'll see to that. Ball is whacked off on Arnautovic and out for a throw-in. So Austria will have a throw here on this far left-hand side, and we are in the final minute of the 6 added on here. Austria have a throw then from this left-hand side. Prass is going to launch it into the box, which he does. Headed away very comfortably by Ferran Torres. Ball comes back out to Prass though. Plays it back to Alaba. Clips it in with the left foot. Doesn't go anywhere though. And now Cucurella will come away with it for Spain. Back into the feet of Rodri. Spain moving the ball once again. And here is Pedro Porro. Back to the goalkeeper, Unai Simon, just giving him a few touches, I think it's fair to say, because he really hasn't had anything to do from note, from what I can remember. And Simon clears it forward, and that'll be pleasing on the eye, won't it, for the Spain head coach, of course. He'll be delighted. Luis de la Fuente, with his side have not conceded again, or certainly doesn't look like they'll concede again unless Austria can come up with something in the final seconds or so. I don't believe they will, and in fact they won't. The full-time whistle has been blown, and Spain are in the last 16 after a 3-0 success over Austria. Now Mikel Oyarzabal grabbed a couple, one in the first half with his left foot, the second goal for him with his right foot, and in between, sandwiched between Pedro Porro's first ever Spain's goal. It really has been a wonderful evening for Espanyol, and they go through to the last 16. For Austria, they go home. They didn't do enough. It's finished here. Spain 3, Austria 0. Thank you very much for listening to us, and a very good evening to you all. Thank you.